Hi and welcome to my new video. This time it's a latest edition of Casio's Carbon Core Guard GShock. It's a cheaper version of MUDMASTER, the GG-B100. Now this watch comes in three versions or three color arrangements, GG-B100 1A, 1.3 and 1.9, as this image shows. And today on our review it's a 1A9. Casio made illustrations about its new carbon core guard system, claiming it has improved shock resistance, vibration resistance, and reduced the weight of the watch in general. This MUDMASTER comes with the outer bezel in carbon fiber, so it looks even more carbon core. So this is a quad-core sensor watch. Amongst the standard ABC sensor comes with the accelerometer, which counts your steps. Also, like any G-Shocks, it's equipped with all these little gadgets and functions, including the protection, from which I would stand out the illumination on this watch, which is excellent, even though it's a single LED illuminating the whole screen. It does its job very well. Major drawback, or at least that's what they say it is the lack of the solar tough movement, which means you depend on your battery life. The battery is CR 2025 or 2025 and is meant to last for 2 years, depending on usage. That and the dome crystal should be the drawback. But with that said, I don't agree with most of the people. To me, it does not represent the major drawback. Nevertheless, they compromise it with the price of $350 US. Size of this MUDMASTER is substantial, but it sits very well, at least on my hand. They kept the metal buckle with a heavy-duty look to it, but the watch strap holder is rubberish or some composite. Overall, it looks excellent in this color combination or arrangement. I like the style of the buttons, much more than the GVG-1000. Even the size of the light button is adequate. Watch itself is very easy to operate, even with all the modes and the Bluetooth/phone function. Dial is excellent. As I previously said, all the Casio models watches that have the excellent looking and well built dial and markers as well as hands. The strap feels very heavy duty and is very thick, but it all suits the rugged style. I would say it's a younger brother of GVG-1000 with no experience in warfare, but yet is trained very well. Now, to conclude this review, if I was on a hunt for a G-Shock, I would definitely buy it. Had a chance to wear it, and to me it's a better G than the GVG-1000. That would be all regarding this review. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please do check out the detailed tutorial on this watch and all the functions of this G. Thanks. Moving on to the tutorial part of this video. Now, before actually moving on with the tutorial, I want to have some info put on the on this video just for your information. So I'm gonna put in the screenshot and list some of the options of the watch dial. Now, on the first position, the second hand points to R when the watch is standing by for the connection with the phone. On the number 2, the second hand points to C when the watch is connected with the phone. Number 3, with 12 o'clock as the reference point, the second hand indicates either north or the approximate angular differential from your current location to a destination. Number 4, the location hand indicates altitude or the barometric pressure differential. Number 5 flashes while the watch's hands are shifted for easier reading. Number 6 is displayed when the indicated time is the summertime. Number 7 displayed when an alarm is turned on. Number 8 displayed during the PM times while the 12-hour timekeeping is being used. Number 9 displayed while auto light is enabled. Number 10 displayed while emission log is enabled. Number 11 displayed while barometric pressure trend information is enabled. Number 12 shows the barometric pressure measurement units. And the number 13 shows the altitude and distance measurement unit. And we have a number 14, that's the signal that appears when the hourly time signal is on. Now, interesting thing to say about this watch is that this watch does not have a solar charging or the solar panels integrated in the watch face or the watch dial. Now there is a CR2020 battery inside, and the its approximate lifetime or the lifespan is about 2 years. So it's expected to be changed every 2 years. Now, how to know that? Well, the when the battery goes low, you will have a graph shown on the subdial or the digital subdial that will indicate that the battery is low. I'm gonna put in the screenshot so you can know. Checking out the basic operations of the watch. Now, this watch is a quad sensor watch, and it has a lots of functions. Now, in this segment, I'm gonna go through the basic operations of the watch. Operations are shifted using the lower left button, the mode button previously on the old G-Shocks, but with that button, I'm shifting through the selected modes. Now, first one is the barometer, and we have a barometric graph and the barometric pressure value. Next up is the temperature reading, then it's the data recall mode, sunrise and sunset. This indicates the sunrise, and this is the sunrise, and this is the sunset. Now it will shift continuously. It depends on your time zone and the input on the home city settings. Now this is the stopwatch, runs pretty basically. The timer also, the alarm mode, and the current. It has I believe 3 alarms and the hourly time signal. This is the world time mode, and higher pitch of the sound gets us to the standard timekeeping mode. Now, whilst in standard timekeeping mode, you can also shift the subdials info. Now, by pressing the upper left button, we shift from the barometric graph and the date to the digital time. Once again, we have activated the fourth sensor, that's the step counter, and the number of steps is shown. Now pressing it again gets us to this screen, which indicates the Saturday, the 4th of January. Now this watch has also another 3 sensors or another 3 functions, and that would be the compass mode, as it's activated right now. Now we have the get it back to standard timekeeping. We have the altitude or the altimeter mode, and of course, as I've said previously, we also do have a compass mode, which is the first mode on the lower left button, and the first mode when we are shuffling between the modes. So basically, and there it is, standard timekeeping mode. Those will be the modes and the basic operations of this GG-B100 MUDMASTER. Setting the time and date on this GG-B100 is done like this. Now, in standard timekeeping mode, hold down the upper left button until and watch the digital subdial, and it's flashing set, and this is my time zone. Currently it's set to Paris. Now, to shift between the time zones or the home city, use the comp and the Alti button. Now shifting is done by pressing these buttons, and now I'm gonna get back to my time zone, and that's Paris, but you get the point. Now once we are in the Paris, and that's our time zone, we are going to press the lower left button, and it will shift to the daylight saving time. When it's set, I can scroll it with the lower left button, and I'm gonna leave it at the auto. This is the button operation, but I'm gonna leave it the tone at the set tone. This is the light duration, it's the 1 second, and this is the hour format. I'm gonna get it back to 24-hour format. This is the receive, slope, and the units, and back to my time zone. By pressing the upper left button, we shift to the seconds. Now how to reset the seconds to 0? Well, that's done by pressing the lower right button, and the seconds will reset. There it is. Now once we have reset the seconds, I'm gonna press again the lower left button so I can shift to the hours. Again, using the comp and the Alt button, I shift our settings by pressing each one. Each time you press, you increase or decrease by the unit of 1. That would be the hour settings. Now pressing the lower left button again shifts to the minute settings, and procedure is the same. By pressing the lower and the upper button, I can increase or decrease the value of minutes. Once that is done, I'm gonna press the button again, and I'm shifted to the year adjustment. It's 2020, so there is no need to make adjustment. And one thing to notice, the HND is flashing. That means our hand adjustment is in progress. So let's press the lower left button again. We are at the month setting, and again, using the comp and the Alt button over here, we can increase or decrease the value. Now we are at the day setting, and once we have done that, we have ran through the cycle of the time changing, and you can see the hands have moved when I enter the mode, so you can have the clear view of the digital subdial. After we are finished, and after all the settings are the way we want to, just press the upper left button, and the watch will get back to the time we have made a preset on. There it is. Using the stopwatch on this GG-B100 is done by like this: shifting or pressing the mode button, the lower left one, until the STW stands in the digital subdial. Now to activate the stopwatch, press the lower left button, lower right one, sorry, and the stopwatch is activated. Now to stop it or to pause it, press again the same button, the Alt button. Now to reset it or start it again, press the lower right one. To reset it, press the com button, and now we are back from 0, measuring the elapsed time. Now to enter the split time measurement, press the Alt button to start the stopwatch, then press the upper right button to split the time, split release at the same button, and then press the Alt button to stop it. Again, the upper one to reset it, and that would be the basics of the stopwatch mode or the stopwatch function. Using the timer on this watch is done from the timekeeping mode, shuffling to the TMR stand inscribed on the lower subdial, and we have a preset value of the 10 minutes. Now how to adjust the preset value or the value of the countdown timer? That's done by depressing the upper left button for at least 2 seconds, and then we have minutes flashing, and the digital hands of the watch will move aside so you can do the adjustments. Now to change the values, press the comp or the LT button. Those two buttons will increase or decrease the value of your countdown time or the value. To shift between the minutes to seconds, press the lower left button, and now we have the hours flashing, and I can adjust the hours by pressing the comp and the Alt button. I'm gonna get it back to the preset value. Now when the adjustments are done, we can press the upper left button, and the watch is now we have the set the countdown timer value. To actually start the countdown timer or to activate the operations of the countdown timer, press the Alt button, and we have started to count down the time. Now how to pause it? Well, press the Alt button again, and we have paused down the countdown timer. Again, start it, pause it, and use the comp button to reset the value. And that would be the basics of the countdown timer operations. Configuring the alarm settings on the GG-B100. Now from the timekeeping mode, shift to the ALM on the lower subdial by pressing the mode button. That's this one, and there we are. We are at the alarm mode. Now how to shuffle between the five alarms that this watch has. To shuffle between the alarms, press the Alt or the comp button, and we have 5 alarms and the hourly signal. Let's say we want to choose the alarm number 1, and how to preset the value or set actually the value of the alarm. Hold down the upper left button for at least 2 seconds, and here we have the our alarm hand is inscribed on the upper part of the subdial, the digital subdial, and use the comp or the LT button to increase or decrease the value of your hours. Now once we have done with the setting with the hour values, now I'm gonna shift to the minutes setting by pressing the lower left one, and the minutes will start to flash. We have also on the upper part of the screen indication that the alarm is on. Now these dots or this logo is the representation that our alarm is turned on. Now setting the value is done exactly the same like ours by pressing the LT and the comp button, and the alarm the value of the alarm is set using that. Now once we have done it, press the upper left button and the alarm is on. How to deactivate the alarm? Press the same button again and the alarm is off. Now that was the setting for the alarm number 1, but the principle is the same for all the 5 alarms. Now we are at the alarm 3, and see over here we have no logo about the alarm, but pressing the upper left one, the logo appears and it says it's on. I'm gonna leave it at off because that's the preset value of the watch. Shifting to the hourly time signal. Now the hourly time signal, you can activate it to toggle it to the on and off, but when I press on, we have the bell logo on the screen. Also you can adjust the time of the hourly time signal. That will be the basics of the alarm and the hourly time signal adjustment. Depressing the lower left one gets us back to the timekeeping mode. World time mode. From the timekeeping mode, keep pressing the lower left one until the world time is shown, and there it is. It's currently set to UTC, but pressing these two buttons will shift the time zones. Now let's say I want to get back to the Tokyo time, since when I bought this watch, or I got it actually, didn't bought it, the time on the main dial was the Tokyo time. So this is currently the Tokyo time, and let's say you want to change the summertime settings now. That would be the daylight saving time and the standard timekeeping. Keep pressed or depressed for the upper left button for about 2 seconds until we have the DST setting turned on. Now to shuffle between the DST time on our second time zone or the world time mode, press the Alt button and it will shift from the auto, off, or on. Now I'm gonna leave it back at the auto, but you get the principle, and that would be the basic operations regards the timekeeping mode. To go with the preset value, press the lower left button, the upper left button, and we are at the world time mode is showing the Tokyo time in our sub dial. Getting back to standard timekeeping by pressing the mode button again, and we have made the operation of checking the time in a second time zone. The application part of this GShock or GG-B100. Well, to do any of the application shots or instructions, first I would have to install the application. And how we do that? Well, it's done by searching the Google Play Store and typing the GShock Connect app and downloading it. Now I've done that previously, but I deleted it and unpaired the device, so I can go through the same procedure again. Once we have installed the application, just tap to open the app, and the GShock introduction and the logo will show up eventually. Now this is the terms of agreement, 2 pages. Okay, you have to scroll to the bottom to get access to this option to agree and allow the. Now we have to find our watch. It's the GG-B100 MUDMASTer. And now to connect the watch, press and hold the connect button until the second hand points to R. R stands for the ready. So let's get zoom on the watch dial. There is the R, and the subdial flashes app, and register the watch is shown on the app. I'm gonna register the watch on the phone. The registration was successful, and now we have some options on the app. So these are the basic references or the unit settings. We can change from the metric to the world standard system. I'm gonna leave it at this, but it's very easy to set the units. So once I've done and checked all of it, I'm gonna send the settings to the watch, and here are some basic information. So this is regards to the fourth sensor of the watch. So it's whilst it's tracking our steps, to have some basic info, but you can change it afterwards. I'm gonna send settings, and the setting is complete. Now I'm gonna turn this option off because this drains the battery, and this is the welcome screen, or the screen that is shown on the app. What's there to show? Well, we have over here a guide, a mission log. This would activate the altimeter mode and the compass mode, and we can track our movement on the using the phone's GPS, and the getting the information on our phone. Since this is a new watch, and there's not too much steps on the watch dial, or sorry, watch memory, it shows some basic or less information that it would normally would show. And this is the calendar option. Of course, we have a world time option, and this button in the middle would switch the world time with your home time. Currently the world time is set to Tokyo. So the other button, the utility, we can set up our daily alarms and hourly signal and the timer. What's else to say? In the app, clicking the gear button on top, I will click on the watch, and now I have a profile setting, unit setting, mode customization, phone finder, watch display settings. On the watch display settings, I can change the our format and the units of the barometer and the altimeter. I can set the operating sound, time adjustment, altitude correction, adjusting the home positions. This is used to regulate the watch hands if the watch is off. Now, how to switch the hands? Well, pressing these one or two of these buttons, I can shift the minute and the hour hand. I'm not gonna send the information to the watch because it's well synchronized. Summertime setting, adjusting the method of counting calories, and what I wanted to say, I believe, watch display settings, profile setting, light setting also. There's a auto light enable or disable. That is the option to when your wrist is rotating towards you and you want to see what time it is, it will turn on the light automatically. And we have the duration for the illumination duration. When I press the lower the L button, or the big one, so the diode would last for 1.5 seconds or the 3 seconds. I'm gonna leave it at the 1.5 seconds. And that's the basic operations of this application. Now I can use this application to track my movement, but the GPS has to be on. Also, to use the application, your Bluetooth must be turned on. So that would be the basics of your MUDMASTER or the GShock application regarding the watch. Here is the step tracker as I showed earlier, and the guide to access the watch's tutorial. Now, how can I disconnect the watch? Now, first thing would be to disconnect the watch from the app, but I can disconnect the watch by pressing this button over here. That's also how it's connected, and pressing it, it will disconnect. You didn't see it, but on the main screen it showed that the watch was disconnected. How to delete the pairing information? Go to the bottom, press delete pairing information, and now you can add your watch to a new phone. Deleting the pairing information from the watch. Now, to do that operation, I'm gonna first make sure that we are in the standard timekeeping mode, and there we are. Hold down the upper left button for about at least 2 seconds, and then release the button when the name of the city is shown. Now press the again press the upper left button, and we'll have over here the screen will show up and the seconds will flash. Now I'm gonna hold down the up compass button for at least 2 seconds and release it when the pair clear stops flashing. And there it is. That would indicates the pairing information from the watch. To enter the timekeeping mode back again, press the upper left button, and here we are back to the standard timekeeping mode. Deleted the pairing information of the watch from the watch. The compass mode on this watch, well, the compass mode is accessed using the comp button or the upper right one, and well, we are in the compass mode. Entering the compass mode starts compass readings, and what's there to know? Well, keeping the watch at the level or horizontal, pointing the 12 o'clock to the direction you wanna of your desired objective, and the second hand will point north. The digital display will show one of the 16 literal direction indications or for the bearing angle. You can toggle between literal direction indications and bearing angle display by pressing the upper left button. And there it is, from degrees to the bearing angle. To re-trigger the compass operation at any given time, press the compass button. Now I'm gonna put in the diagram or the screenshot for you to better understand the what is the principle of bearing operation. Checking the altitude on this GG-B100 is done from timekeeping mode by pressing the Alti button, and the lower screen will show the altimeter in action. Now you can navigate between display screens by pressing the upper left button, and it will move from the graph to the altitude graph and the altitude value. The watch takes altitude readings every second for about the first 3 minutes. After that, it takes readings according to the watch's auto measurement interval setting. To re-trigger the measurement at any point, you would have to press the Alt button again. Now, interpreting the altitude graph content, maybe the best thing would be to put up a screenshot so you can understand what this graph is all about. Interesting thing to say about the altimeter functions after let's call in this segment checking the altitude differential or from a reference point. After you set a reference altitude, the second hand of the watch will indicate the difference between your current altitude and the reference altitude. This makes it easy to measure the altitude difference between 2 points while climbing or trekking. How to change the information indicated by the second hand. Now, whilst in the altimeter mode, hold down the upper left button for at least 2 seconds and release the button when set starts to flash. And we had a set flashed over there, and the hand will there it is, hand is flashing. Now press the lower left button 3 times, and after that is done, you will use the Alt button to select a diff. Now the diff is selected, and it shows a now what diff stands for. You have diff showing the seconds, or the lower screen showing the diff or the seconds. Now this when it's to diff, the second hand indicates the altitude differential, and when it stands sec, it indicates the current time in seconds. Press the upper left button to get back to the to exit the setting screen. Setting the altitude differential measurement range. Now enter the altimeter mode, and we are currently in the altimeter mode, and hold down the upper left button until set starts to flash and disappears from display. That's what happened. And sorry, this displays the altitude of your current location. Now press the lower left button twice. This displays the altitude differential measurement range. Use the lower right button or the Alt button to select the sorry, these are the increments. There it is, 100, 1000. So I'm gonna go with 100 meters, but you can do what you want with those increments. Now I'm gonna press the upper left button and get back to the altimeter mode. Barometer mode, or checking the current barometric pressure. Now from standard timekeeping mode, one press on the lower left one gets us to the barometer mode. Now entering the barometer mode starts the measurement and displays the barometric pressure at your current location and the barometric pressure graph. After you enter the barometer watch, the watch takes readings about every 5 seconds for 3 minutes. After that, a measurement is taken about every 2 minutes or every 5 seconds. To toggle between the measurement interval, you can change the measurement interval also. Now, how to navigate between the two displays? Well, it's easy. By pressing the upper left button, I can switch the representation on the lower subdial. So here we have the representation only of a barometric graph, or the barometric pressure value and the barometric pressure graph. Checking the changes in barometric pressure over time, the watch can be configured to show a graph or pressure readings taken every 2 hours or every 2 minutes. You can display a graph of barometric pressure reading for the past 20 hours or the past 20 minutes. I'm gonna put in the a screenshot so you can better know what I'm talking about. Also, the interval of the changes can be measurements can be changed. Checking the change in barometric pressure between the two readings. When you perform the procedure of the barometric mode, the second hand will indicate the difference between the current barometric pressure measurement and the last two measurements values. How to perform that operation? Now enter the barometer mode, and we are currently in the barometer mode. Hold down the upper left button for about 2 seconds until set starts to flash, and there it was. Now this displays the current barometric pressure and enters the barometric pressure offset mode. Now we are going to press the lower left button, and now this displays the hand diff or the seconds. Use the lower right button to select the difference, and each press of the A cycles through the settings below. What the DFF stands for, the second hand the second hand indicates the barometric pressure or the barometric pressure differential indicator, and when I press again the seconds, it will indicate the indicates the current time set in seconds. Now I'm gonna put in the graph so you can better understand what I'm actually talking about. So basically we have ran through all the specifications of the barometric pressure. Now how to read the barometric pressure units I've said previously, but you can use it to predict whether the weather is gonna be bad or good. Currently I'm shifting between the graphs on the barometric mode. Whenever the watch detects a significant change in air pressure readings due to the sudden ascent or descent or the passage of a low value or high pressure area, it will beep to let you know. An arrow will also flash on the display at this time if the watch is in the barometer mode.